Namaskar. Welcome to Prakash on Basics. From today, I'll talk on Dnyankand part of the Vedas. As I told you, this initial part is known as the Aranyaks. Aranyaks form the smaller introductory part of the Dnyankand, or as we know, the Vedanta. This part, though small, is quite distinct, and so I'll keep it that way. I'll keep it separate. First, why the Aranyaks? We talked of the Grihastashram, which is dominated by the Yajnas. As I told you, Grihastashram lasted for about 50 years, up to the age of 50 years, 50, 60. And then life had to move on. Today, post this time, is something we call as retirement. So, what do? Uh, Pass on the baton of responsibility to the next generation, start taking a backstage. Uh, Indirectly, it means stop interfering. Better, stay away, stay aloof. Still better, stay beyond the city limits, beyond the hustle and bustle of the town, in solitude and in quiet. Actually, this is exactly what Vanapastashram means. Vana means cultivated forest. So going and staying there is what Vanaprasthashram is. One can't perform yajnas there. Only meditation and prayers are possible. Naturally, there is a shift in priorities of behavior, actions, and thoughts. So, what do? You build a hut and stay, pass your days peacefully, relaxing. But then, those who have lived sensibly and are fit and fine are good intellectually, capable of doing a lot of thought and research in their concepts and ideas. Um, so, what should they do? Contemplate, meditate, discuss with friends. Um, Give it a thought. Was all the karma kand that I did, was it really worthwhile? With so many yajnas, so many gods, so many sects, does it really make sense? What did I achieve? Was it right? Was it wrong? Was it the only way to God? If you're a guru, your students will also get in touch with you at this time, trying to learn a little more from you. So, what new ideas do you have for them? This is a stage of realization. I'm reminded of a set of lines from a Hindi song. जिंदगी सिर्फ मोहब्बत नहीं, कुछ और भी है. भूख और प्यास की मारी हुई इस दुनिया में इश्क ही एक हकीकत नहीं, कुछ और भी है. Replace ishq and mohabbat with their true meanings, which is actually in most cases, in reality, love for one own self. First me, and if ideas broaden, to my family, to my friends, to my caste, to my religion, to my nation. That's an evolutionary type of a step that takes place as you become more and more mature. But then, this is not the only reality. There are many more things beyond this. You need to move from the self centered approach to the good for all attitude, as it is referred to, from swarth to paramarth, from shreyas to preyas. I'll talk of these ideas sometime later again. Um, in Sanskrit, there is a beautiful term for all this. It is known as nididhyasan, self analysis with dedication and with zest, listening and contemplating. So you do that, and naturally, with many thinkers, there were many new ideas that came forward. These had to be compiled. This is done in the third part of Vedas, known as the Aranyak. It's also known as the Upasana Kand. Sit and meditate rather than follow rituals. This is the first step to philosophy. The first part of the second section of Vedas. The Aranyak of the Dnyankand, the book of forest dwellings. In the Taittiriya Aranyak, there's a statement uh, that they must be studied from where rooftops are not visible. Isolation. So the part of Vedas that are to be studied in seclusion, in isolation of forests, are known as the Aranyak, because the Aranya word itself means forest. There's one more idea. Um, People felt that some of the mantras and other rituals involved were secretive, and so to keep them away from everybody else, they were to be practiced and dealt with only in the aranyas or the forests where you wouldn't come in contact with others. Um, all such thinkers had their own preferred areas. Since they followed, practiced, and mastered different Vedas, the Aranyaks too were for different Vedas. The Rigveda had the Aitareya Aranyak and the Kaushitki Aranyak. The Shukla Yajurved had the Bruhadaranyak, one of the biggest ones. The word Bruhad itself means big. And the Krishna Yajurved had the Taittiriya Aranyak. The Samved had the Tavalkar Aranyak. Unluckily, the Aranyaks of the Atharva Ved are not found. Whether they were there earlier or not, something that we don't really know. Um, so, what is the contribution of all these Aranyaks? Uh, Aranyaks basically form a bridge between the Brahman part and the Upanishad part. These Aranyaks are dominantly prose, but there are occasional poetic mantras too. The Aranyaks facilitate the transition or the changeover from Karma Kanda to Dnyankanda, from rituals to philosophy. The topics covered in the Aranyaks are closer naturally to both Brahman on one side and the Upanishads on the other side, to rituals and to philosophy. The Mahanamni Ruchas and other related important Ruchas are closer to many of the major yajnas or Mahavratas. The importance of Omkar, the concept of the Atma, the concept of the Purush are all closer to the Upanishads. The philosophical background of yajnas and their logic and reasoning is closer to the Brahman part. There are also many lores covering historical aspects that are touched on in the Aranyaks. Actually, the boundaries between Brahman and Aranyak on one side and the Aranyak and the Upanishads on the other side are a bit fuzzy and overlapping in many cases. Um, Last chapter of the Shatpat Brahman of the Shukla Yajurved has the Bruhadaranyak The word itself links it to Aranyak, and this is one of the major ones. And it discusses the concept of the Atma or the Atma Tattva. Some Aranyaks include Upanishads. So we are on the other side. And the Aitareya Upanishad of the Rigveda, the Kaushitki Upanishad, also of the Rigveda, the Taittiriya Upanishad of the Krishna Yajurveda are all parts of the Aranyak. The Tavalkar Aranyak of the Samved uh, has the Kathopanishad in it. In the fourth chapter of this Aranyak, there is in the 10th Anuvak, the the Kenopanishad, which is a major Upanishad. The Taittiriya Aranyak has 10 chapters. And in the 7th, 8th, and the 9th chapter, there is the Taittiriya Upanishad. So you will find that it is not just the end, but prior to it also, where one merges into the other. These and many other ideas that are introduced in the Aranyaks gradually evolve and get mature as they reach the stage of the Upanishads. They are dealt in detail and explained there. The ultimate step, naturally, then, is the Upanishads, the core of Indian philosophy. So, the Aranyaks are the first step of Dnyankand. The crux is the Upanishads. That probably is the most important and interesting part that we need to discuss in detail as we go along. That's what we can learn from. And that I start dealing with next time onwards. If you have liked whatever I have said, please like and subscribe to this channel. Pass on the baton of knowledge to your friends also. Let them listen to this also if you like it. I'm sure they would too. So once we move to the next step, we start with the Upanishads. Till we meet again, Namaskar. Thank you.